Serey Chea is the Director General at National Bank of Cambodia, joining us live from Pen, Cambodia. That is, ma'am, thanks very much for joining us and giving us your time this morning. I want to start off by understanding, the kind of reception the initial launch has received, and what have you learned through the rollout of this hybrid digital currency, as you call it?
Yeah, so first of all, it's we don't refer to it as digital currency. It's more kind of like a payment system. But if we were to go that way, then I would say it's a hybrid of central bank digital currency and stablecoin. We first tested this system in 2019 and officially launched in 2020. Now, we're very thankful that we tested it early because COVID pandemic has clearly showed that the need of digital adoption is there. And so our system were able to accommodate that social distancing, that sanitary measure that was put by the government. In terms of the adoption, we have seen an increase this is just the overall electronic payment. We've seen an increase in terms of volume by 300%, in terms of value by 200% from the first quarter of 2020 to first quarter of 2021. Bakong in itself has a download of 200,000 wallet or users. This is wallet-to-wallet users. In terms of outreach, we reached about 5.9 million users. These 5.9 are using Bakong as their backbone payment system.
Right. How much has this new model worked in terms of furthering your cause and your objective of building financial inclusion at a time when, this as a new monetary framework needs to be adopted by all echelons of the society, right? Not just the high and mighty, but also it needs to be adopted by people at the lower rung.
Yeah, definitely it has helped a lot because we have about 70% of the population who have a bank account and the remaining 30% who doesn't. Now, opening a bank account in Cambodia is a bit complicated. There's a lot of requirement for KYC, which is for normal people, you're able to provide all those documentation for the banks. But when you're talking about people in the rural area, this is more difficult for them, as opposed to download an app and register yourself very simply on a mobile application. And so by having this digital wallet, so it's sort of a universal application that anyone can download and register, we are able to capture the segment of the market who were not able to access banking system previously. And that has been very useful in this pandemic also in terms of government direct transfer to the people. So we were able to use mobile wallets. And in here, it's not specifically just Bakong, but also other mobile wallet service provider has also been able to participate in this whole financial inclusion and trying to cope with the impact of crisis for a difficult period of the crisis.
And what about security, ma'am? Because that's a key question, right? That central banks around the world, especially in emerging markets, are also grappling with in terms of data security, data protection, KYC norms. How do you incorporate that in this new model?
First of all, from a lot of studies, blockchain is so far one of the safest technology that we know of. But obviously, anything can happen. But we need to test to know what is going to happen, right? Second of all, in terms of data security, the central bank, even though we are the one who introduced this system, we don't do the KYC requirement ourselves. We delegate it to the commercial bank or the member banks to do the registration on our behalf. So the commercial bank would mainly preserve confidentiality of the customer information as they would normally do when they open a bank account. And this is an interesting sort of discussion going forward when we talk about CBDC, for instance, that will be introduced directly by the central bank. The question is who will do the KYC, who would keep the user data, etc. And that's going to be a very interesting question.
Right, and as you think more about digital adoption and CBDCs in Cambodia, as you think about really bringing that model to the fore, what is your thinking around the coexistence of these currencies, not just with fiat currencies, but also with cryptocurrencies, like what El Salvador has done?
Well, first of all, Cambodia is used to dual currency. We are a heavily dollarized economy, and we realize that when you're in a dollarized economy, it's very difficult for the central bank to conduct monetary policy because basically what you do with monetary policy is to control money supply. And so if you have a different currency circulating and you have no control over this, that is going to be a problem. In terms of cryptocurrency, Cambodia has been very early on one of the first central banks to come out and say we don't accept the trading or the circulation of cryptocurrency in our economy. It is very risky, first of all, because of there's no intrinsic value to this cryptocurrency, and a lot of people who buy cryptocurrency don't understand what it is, and they can lose money 50% overnight, 100% overnight. So that is something that we decided that we will keep away from the market.
Ma'am, such a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for your time and your insights.